is my first interview of Worlds, but it's day 2 of Worlds. And I'm joined right now by Zven with coverage brought to you by Alienware. Zven, North America currently undefeated at Worlds with C9 leading the scoreline 3-0.
That's right.
Okay, so there was a lot of I think everybody expected C9 to make it out of play-ins, and obviously there's still another game to be played tomorrow, but there were some people that were like, I don't know, Detonation, Focus Me kind of had their number at MSI, et cetera, et cetera. Did you have any concerns going into play-ins?
I feel like the DFM has C9's number thing is kind of, it's like a forced narrative at this point. I don't know why I hear that so much, but it's super cringe, at least in my opinion. They beat us one game at MSI, and it was like, the game was over in 3 minutes, and we had a terrible draft on top of the mistake we made at the crap. That was like the infamous crap 9 moment, right? And that was it. Nothing else has ever happened for DFM against T9, I think, in history. So I don't know why this narrative is so forced. But anyways, I do think that we should be able to beat these teams in this play-in group. I think that we dodged Hamalife and LNG, who are the other two good teams in the play-ins, in my opinion. And with them not out of our group, we should be able to get first place very easily. That's what I thought was going to happen when we got here, and I think so far we played well. We have some oopsies here and there, some fail flashes, and some other funny business that shouldn't be happening. But overall, I like that we're playing with confidence, and we're playing overall pretty well, I think.
Yeah, Perks tweeted that he's been wanting a play named after him for a while, and he now says that dying with Tryndamere Ultimate unused is now the Perks. And he said he's been telling you guys this for 1 week straight, so this has been an ongoing conversation that he's been planning to die with the ult used?
Yes. We were talking about like the insec and other iconic moves, the XPK, Backdoor, and stuff like that, and he said that I don't have a move after me. And he said one day I'm going to play Tryndamere and have Sinja move. And then someone asked him, like, what's that going to be? It's going to be not pressing ult.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good move to have. And then it happens actually like a fair amount when people play Tryndamere because they try to test limits a little bit too much, like that 1 second earlier or later ult. So it happens often with Tryndamere that people don't press ult, and then every time it happens, we're like, oh, it's the Perks. And happened this game in Ball-In. We're like, oh, it's the Perks.
Very good. Well,
even though that was actually like a pretty bad mistake, but it's just funny. Anyways, it's the Perks.
I'm glad he's got it figured out and that he has that. All right, you also tweeted. I was looking at what everybody was saying after that game. You had the idea, this joke about losing to UOL and then losing the tiebreaker so that you can go face HLE. There's been some people that have speculated that because of the groups that you guys will probably be seeded into in group stage, that it would actually be advantageous for you to try to like mix up the results or whatever.
I mean, obviously we're not gonna do that.
Yes.
Also, that'll be a legal move in case Ryan's watching this video. So we can't do that. We can't drop matches on purpose, and of course C9 can never lose to you all, right?
Yes.
So that won't be happening, but it is actually advantageous to. I haven't actually gone deep into all the if this team loses and this team wins, blah 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 blah, right? But there is some shenanigans where it could benefit us to not go first place in the playing group stage and just play against someone best of fives to eliminate certain teams because Hamalife can only go in one group, blah blah, right? So. It's kind of sad that's how it is because it gives me like flashbacks to Summer Split in ALCS where that felt the same, but it's whatever.
Yeah, are you... there's been a lot of discussion or more and more discussion, I think, about the Worlds format, especially now that we have 4 LPL teams, 4 LCK teams. What do you think of the Worlds format?
I think having 4 teams from LCK and LPL is a good format. I think that's how it should be, given that those teams' history at Worlds, right? And I still think that groups format is not the best format. That has to be something different, like done lower brackets or something, because I think very often a team can lose in groups but be way better than teams in quarters or semifinals. That's also why I don't like the Western narrative that making out groups equals good and not making out groups equals bad, because sometimes, for example, last time I was at Worlds, I played against RNG and Samsung in my group. That was the first place team that won Worlds, the World Champions, and it was the 3rd/4th place team. So it feels like, I could maybe be a quarterfinalist or semifinalist. I wouldn't know because I play against the best teams in the world, right?
Right.
So I hate the narrative about that. But anyways, I think that the format isn't the greatest. Finding, the actual ranking of teams, it's more like this way you find the best team in the world and possibly like top 2, 3, 4 is usually like somewhat correct.
Yeah.
But the quarters finalists are not always the best teams at all. So that feels sometimes bad and sometimes not good, because often there's like a team that goes 3-3 in groups or 4-2 in an easy group. They go to quarterfinals, get 3-0, and then they're like, "Oh, nice! This team is so good. They did so well. We're so proud of them." I'm like, "Bro, they didn't do anything. They got 3-0 by the first good team that they faced." So
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
End of my rant.
How has, or what have you thought of the meta at Worlds? Because a lot of people have also, I mean, it's only day 2, but there's been a lot of discussion around the champion diversity. People feel like there's some cool unconventional picks. So I don't know if you think it is as cool as many people online seem to think it is.
I think having certain champs is a different meta was nice. I think that's I'm happy there's no more Udyr and Morgana and Hecarim. These champs are boring and not skilled to play. So happy with that. But I think that there's also a lot of champions in the meta right now in solo queue anyways. Not a Worlds necessarily, but like Talon and Stead, Kiana and stuff, and as well as Bruisers are still very strong. You know, Goldringer Stax is nerfed for the 5th time, but it's still a very strong combo since Zao and Lee Sin are using it as much as they ever have. But I like the AD meta more. I think that MF being back, Astral being back is nice. I got kind of bored of the whole Vars Aphelios every single game, and Kalista is nerfed finally, so even though I like Kalista, but I think the meta is overall pretty good. I think that it's weird that Riot is so loose with just buffing Lucian and Nami at the same time, even though it's been a combo for years, right? And then it becomes like a top tier pick at Worlds. I'm happy to play Lucian myself. We've banned it so far, but I'm happy to play it, and I hope I can play it soon. But I think that Riot should be more careful with just buffing a champion and nerfing that champion's roles, other champions, and then buffing something that benefits a champion, like Nami, right? So they nerfed Aphelios, they nerfed Kalista, they nerfed, what was it, Varus, and then they nerfed previously Kai'Sa and Tristana, and suddenly they buff Lucian while buffing Nami, and you're surprised that Lucian is meta at Worlds, right? That, I think, is not how it should be done. But overall, things like a Mumu shouldn't happen either, in my opinion. It shouldn't just be like from a meme champ to S tier support. It's like kind of like the Udyr situation, right? Where suddenly like Morgana jungle is broken and so is Udyr, Morgana, Hecarim. So I feel like Riot's going a bit too fast for the buff, and they should try to slowly get still meta for Worlds. But I think overall the meta is going to be fun this year. I think we'll see a lot of diversity. So I'm fine with it overall.
I have to run and answer the door. 1 second. Give me 15 seconds.
And don't worry, I'll just handle it on my own. So, Travis Gafford, let me see my questions here. What do you think about PSG's guy, their CEO, manager, whatever the fuck he is, talking shit about C9? Yeah, I think that guy is a bit butthurt about C9 being too good. So I'm hoping we can play against PSG at some point in the group stage at Worlds, because that guy is giving me, he's a bit triggering me a little bit, honestly. Like, he's getting a bit out of control. So there's that.
We have an exterminator, and Kobe for some reason couldn't answer the door. So here I am answering the door. Okay.
It's all good. I'm enjoying myself right now.
Thank you for keeping the interview going. All right, it's that time of the year. I have to ask, what is the chances that North America can do well? How have scrims been going? What's happening behind the scenes?
Well, so we have the unfortunate situation that we're NA's third seed, and in case you don't know what that means, it means that Asian teams don't like you. They don't know how good you are. They don't want to give you a chance. We scrimmed some teams from LPL and LCK. Actually, not LCK yet, but LPL. So we're like lucky in that sense that we have some previous years of respect. But normally, third seed NA means you don't scrim the good teams. But I've heard, we're in the street, we're in the elevator, from other teams, that scrims are going okay for the West. Not necessarily for NA, but for the Western teams. NA's chances, I don't know. It depends a bit on the groups they're in, right? So some teams have it a bit easier than others. I think the group we are most likely being put in, given that nothing funny happens in the play-in best of fives, it's going to be hard. But like I said earlier, for me, it's not always about making a group or not. It's more about how well you play. I'm okay with going 3-3 or 2-4 if we played well against the best teams in the world, right? They're gonna win Worlds this year. But I think that there is hope for some NA teams to do some damage at Worlds and make it out groups. And I hope that it doesn't embarrass in best of fives. That's all I care about. I don't care about, like, you lost best of ones to best teams in the world. That's fine.
Yeah.
So I think overall NA is not gonna win Worlds. That's like sad to say that you don't really believe in it. I think it's not impossible, but it's not looking too good for NA to win Worlds, but I think we can definitely make quarters and we can do some damage in groups for sure.
Very good. Well, thank you so much, Zven, for the interview. Anything you want to say to anybody out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think I haven't been on social media for a while, but from what my teammates are telling me and the managers and Jack and stuff, I hear that there's a lot of good vibes on social media. These days I just tweet. I don't actually read comments and stuff. Unless something funny is happening, like some TL guy who's talking around shit about Blabber, I want to wait for him. Otherwise, I don't spend much time on social media, but I want to thank everyone for the nice words about us. And I think tomorrow we will beat the Unicorns and qualify for main events. So I hope that people will keep cheering for us in that stage as well, because I think that we have potential to do some real damage.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for the interview again. Looking forward to seeing what you guys can do. 3-0 is a great start. And for everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports Worlds right here on my YouTube channel. Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for watching that interview. It's officially Worlds. And I promise by group stage I'll have this cleaned up behind me. I don't know if we'll still be using this outro, but I'm trying to redo The Office a little bit right now, and I chose the wrong time to do it. And so things are a bit of a mess. But you know what isn't a mess? The amazing deals you can get from Alienware at alienware.com/Travis. There's a link in the description below and a code as well that you can use to save some money on an awesome Alienware computer. So maybe you're watching Worlds and you're like, I want to compete. Go do that. Go get one of those things because it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome.